Hi, everyone. Have you ever wondered how you can flip a piece of furniture into something beautiful and stylish with just two products? Stay tuned and find out. My name is Sandra. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Um, Midwest Charm is a small storefront in Pine City, Minnesota, where we specialize in repurposed, upcycled vintage home decor and all of your DIY gifts or DIY needs. You can find everything used today linked below, as well as all of our social medias, and you can contact us on any of those. You guys, two products, two things, paint and a sealer, and wait till the very end when you see the finished results and maybe a sneak peek into my next video. This turned out so amazing. It was $15, y'all. 15 at the local Goodwill. And I can't wait for you to see what it looks like now. You guys, this was, I think, $13.99 at Goodwill. I don't even remember now. It had really good bones. The size is perfect. It is always a really great seller, the size in our store. It's not too tall, it's not too long. It fits in all the beautiful spaces and can be used for more than just a dresser due to its size. So we are using Farm Fresh by DIY Paint. We are using a DIY brush. I don't have this one on the website yet, but I also used the little smoothie brush at the end when I did the big top coat on it. I love that one for applying top coats. You can see here, I am keeping this in real time. Other than dry time, this is a really quick, simple project that anyone can do. It was 2 coats of paint with maybe a little bit of touch up on the major flat surfaces. Otherwise, this is just a really quick and easy project. Very simple. Anyone can do it. It just requires the paint, which DIY paint is highly pigmented, so you get great coverage. And it requires a paintbrush, and then it requires the top coat. I did do some distressing, which you will see. And right here, I'm just taking off the hardware and removing all the drawers and wiping. I will wipe everything down. I did do part of it beforehand. And I guess I don't think I recorded when I did the wipe off after I sanded. I think that was off camera. But here we go. It is just simply getting this applied on. I love this color. It is a beautiful green. I don't know. It's one of my faves. You guys know, I love my blues and greens. I just do, and this is perfection. So I am making sure that there's no drips in these top drawers because there's the routed lines in it. So I just want to make sure that I get all that nice and smooth. I get all my edges. And you can see Larry down there. He is our quality control manager, and he is just checking everything out. He loves to be very much involved while I am working. If you guys stay tuned throughout this video, at the very end, I have some finished pictures. And in those pictures, you will find sneak peeks to my Friday video. And like I said, I'm keeping this in real time so you guys can see that this is not hard. This is fairly quick. And it was just a matter of having the space to set up all of these drawers. And you can see I've got really, really decent coverage on this first coat going on. Look at that. I'm loving it. And then once it's sealed up and I smoothed all the brush strokes out, oh, you guys, the end result, you are going to be floored. And there I am, just making sure I'm getting those edges. And now we're going to do those flat front dress. You guys, I have such a terrible habit of biting on my paintbrushes. When we were at Sonnet's retreat, I kept doing it over there too. It's just one of those things. In between steps, that's what I do. And you can see it's going on smooth and we're getting good coverage. Like I said, I did mostly just the one coat on camera and then another quick coat. And I have drawers everywhere by the time I'm done, even though there's only 6. And you've seen all the animals today. Moki and the cats. Once I got all these drawers done, I do go ahead and start on the body of the dresser. This actually goes pretty quick too because, again, it's smaller in size. Even though it may look like it's big, it's really not. The front part is obviously super easy. You just got to make sure you're not getting any drips left in the corners there where all the bars meet up. The top will be, I don't want to say the hardest part because it wasn't really hard at all. You just gotta make sure that once you apply your paint, you're going over with some nice long smooth strokes so you're not leaving any like start stop points in the middle of it. When you see me tapping like that, there's some dings and whatnot on the top of this dresser. I am playing to all of its imperfections and leaving them in there, and when we distress it, those will help, the paint will like sit in them and it just looks really pretty. So we will be leaving the dings on the top and sides. And this is just really quick off on with the paint. You can see I think I've only brushed or dipped my brush twice for this whole front part. You don't need a lot on there. I'm not really I don't like to keep a lot of paint in the brush anyways. I'd much rather it be on my piece or in my can. And I did not lower this. I had at home not my favorite tripod. I brought my tripod home so you can see it later on in this video. I've got a couple better angles for you, so. And I promise y'all, this is really light. It's not heavy. I was okay scooching it there. And anytime I needed it moved, the boys or Todd did it for me, so. And I'm telling you, when you guys see this, you will realize just how easy this is for you to do on your own piece. I wanted to work out in the front porch, but it's just been way cold. So I am back in the laundry room where all my paint is and where I have a little table set up and do most of my videos at. But there's not a lot of extra room back there, so definitely used all of the spaces. As you can see, the dryer's is holding those totes, which were last week's video. If I remember, I'll go ahead and link that in the details below so you guys can check out how I did those flips. So Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to grab a pen. And I'm making myself a note. So now you can see the first coat is on all the pieces. And now we are going in with our second coat. And you'll see it just really brighten up with this coat of paint. Don't overwork your second coat, you guys. Get it on there, smooth it out, but don't overwork it. If you overwork it, you do run the risk of pulling up that base coat because this is clay-based and it's water activated. When you add that wet second coat on there, if you work it too hard, you can pull up the previous paint coat until it's sealed. Once it's sealed, you're all good. And you can see it's super easy to do. I was working in that corner a little bit, trying to pull out a little drippy that was in there. And look, you can tell just the difference between the two. Obviously, DIY paint darkens while it's wet. So it's going to appear darker while it's wet, and then it's going to dry lighter. And once you seal it, it's somewhere in between the two, as you'll see in the end here. And here we start the top. You guys, it's such so pigmented that it's just, the coverage is just amazing. And I cannot say enough good things about this paint. It's just so beautiful to work with. And if you haven't had the chance yet, yes, my booty's dirty from sitting on the floor, y'all. It's a laundry room. It gets dusty in there. But the pigments, I mean, this is just beautiful. It just goes on so beautifully. And this paint just sticks to everything too, so you can put it on pretty much any surface. And I know you guys have seen me use it on a lot of different items. I love it. I love it. I love it. After this portion of the video, we do have a couple still shots before we go in and start distressing it. So it definitely needs to completely dry before we distress. And I believe I let it sit longer than overnight, but overnight is what I would typically let it sit for. It sat for a few days because I was waiting for some new handles, because as you saw, we didn't have all of them, and I really didn't care for them either. I should have included a picture because they were just a bit weird. They were really heavy too. I don't know. I don't understand them. So here it is. Well, it's all drying. The coverage was phenomenal. And now we are going in, now that it's been painted, and I'm going to go along all of the edges. So I'm going to go along the edges, the corners, the 4 little spots on those 2 top drawers. I want to make sure to totally accent those so you can see where they are, and just so that they doesn't look so flat. It gives it a little bit more interest. And yes, I'm wearing Winnie the Pooh socks and slippers, and it is cold here in Minnesota. Like, they almost had a delayed start to school. It was so cold, so I was chilly. And then on the big drawers, I'm just going around the edges and then making sure to hit those top corners. And then I do that along the top too to hit all the edges and the corners. And then the little kickboard on the bottom, I just did along the top edge and like the sides, and that was it. Um, and then I do go over the top and smooth it completely. Once I finish with this, I do take a baby wipe and wipe all of the dust off before we go ahead and seal this up. I am using I believe this is a 320 grit sandpaper. If it's not, it's in the high 200s. It's really smooth and it just takes off just enough so that it looks worn. It doesn't look scratched. And again, this doesn't take long. This clay-based paint distresses super duper easily. So it's just a matter of, just running it over it a few times. It doesn't take too much elbow grease. It's a fairly simple and easy job. And then next up, you'll see a picture, just a still of it with the top coat on it, and you can see the variations in it as it's drying. Don't freak out. It may look streaky. Don't freak out. I promise. And you'll see also that Larry totally approves of this piece. And then we're deciding on which knobs I wanted to use. I wasn't quite sold on any of them. And then the final results. Y'all let me know what you think below and what you think the sneak peek was.